Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Plan Commission ARB for May 1st. If you have any electronic gadgets, please silence them at this time. And can we see who's online yet? Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks. We'll start with the roll call.
Steve Lichtenfeld,
Here,
Carolyn Gatus, Bridget McAndrew,
Here.
Bob Denlow,
Here.
Helen DeFate,
Here.
Kami Waldman,
Here.
David Gibson.
okay, we have
I'm
minutes
here
from the.
too. Sorry, I'm here too. I
Yes,
don't know if you heard me.
we see you online.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
We have minutes from the previous meeting on April 17th. Are there any changes?
No.
Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. We'll go on to a public hearing, which will be a text amendment. And let's open the hearing, and Anna, I think you're leading off.
Yes. So this is a text amendment that we previously discussed at a discussion session with the board. Actually, I think we believe we had two. So after we updated our renewable energy regulations recently, we've had a dramatic increase in the number of applications for solar panels. I don't know that that's exactly due to our updated process, but it has been a positive outcome. So there are provisions within our adopted building and fire codes that allow for certain conditions when you could reduce the 2-foot requirement for a setback of panels on a roof. We recently heard a request by a homeowner who's looking to locate their solar panels on their detached structure, which is unoccupied, which under the fire and building codes for that 1-story structure allows us to remove the setback altogether. There are some provisions under the building code that also allow for an occupied structure to have it reduced to 1 foot 6 inches when there are other paths provided for emergency access to the roof. So instead of only calling out the really specific position of an unoccupied structure, instead we've proposed a text amendment that allows us to, under our building permit review for those solar panels, ensure that there are not any concerns from a building division standpoint or a fire safety standpoint that would allow for a reduced setback, and then for staff to approve that under that administrative process. So you'll see there are 2 sections that have been changed to allow this. The first is under the section where the setback is established of 2 feet. We've removed that wording and instead referenced back to the adopted building and fire codes. Based on our discussion, we felt that really the setback, the reason for it, this board expressed, was for that safety concern as opposed to just a general 2-foot setback. So we've aligned it, and then we've also added wording within the administrative review process that allows for some variation and adjustment on similar provisions that might be allowed under the building and fire code.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was, for all that was written in here, the relatively minor changes make a lot of sense and follow exactly everything you just said. So I had no problem with it, but let's go around. Bridget?
I don't have any problem either. No comment.
Bob?
Reads like Shakespeare.
Helen?
I thought the changes were good.
Amy?
No comment.
Carolyn? Oh, where's
Nope.
Carolyn?
I'm here. I had no comments either. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Are you under a different name tonight, Carolyn?
I don't think so. Mine says,
Oh, there you
I had
are.
to be added as a panelist.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I'm there. I can see me. Weird. Okay.
Yeah, real quick, Ryan, I just got a text from one of the people that are supposed to be on here. She said the web ID expired because she was supposed to be here at 5:30 a.m. or something.
The link that was posted was the wrong link at the time that was set for, it said for 5:30 a.m. instead of
Okay.
PM. So we've published a new link and we're trying to send out the email right now to the
Oh, okay.
applicants.
That must be it.
Okay, we need to recommend approval of the text amendment to the Board of Aldermen. Do we have a motion to that?
I move to
Um,
approve. Go ahead, Carolyn.
No, that's fine. It's a public hearing, so I didn't know if we needed, there were 3. Hold on. Oh, never mind. It's just me. Never mind. No, it's okay, Robert. Bob, sorry.
I move to adopt the text amendment to
Yes,
chapter
that's fine with me.
405, Article 28, Renewable Energy Systems.
I second.
All in favor? Opposed? And the public hearing is closed. Okay. We'll move on to old business. And the first one is 750 Wenniker Drive. I believe the applicant is online. And
Yes, I am. Should be.
okay, we hear you. We'll start with the staff report. Ryan.
All right, so just to let everybody know, the applicant has submitted new plans. They were submitted on Friday. However, staff has not had the opportunity to review those plans and provide an updated staff report. So I'm going to go ahead and just summarize the old staff report, and then the applicant can clarify changes where they were made. Also, the updated plans were provided in physical copies at each of your stations. So the subject property is located on the east side of Wenniker Drive between Winlow Drive and Tanglewood Drive. The property is zoned R2 and is located in the Clayshire Urban Design District and is developed with a single-family home. The applicant is seeking to construct a 750 square foot residential addition at the north side and rear of the home, including an expanded garage, driveway, and rear patio. The expanded driveway proposes a 16-foot width, which exceeds the Clayshire 10-foot width limit. A wall-mounted AC unit is proposed at the rear facade of the new addition. The location of the AC unit has not been identified on the plans. Existing AC units will not change and are currently not screened. A dry well is proposed for the site, but the applicant has not determined a location at this time. The existing materials on site include brick, stone for the home's facade, and an asphalt for the driveway. Gray cement fiber siding is proposed for all addition facades, and an asphalt is proposed for the driveway. Some aspects do not comply with the Clayshire requirements and are being pursued via alternative compliance. The use of asphalt drives is prohibited. However, the material would match the existing drive and other asphalt drives in the surrounding area and surrounding properties. As proposed, the front facade does not, but the front facade does not meet Clayshire requirements and includes the use of 2 accent materials. Nearby properties largely comprise of red brick with stone accents. Siding in front facade is limited. Staff are of the opinion that the small column of siding proposed along the north edge of the new garage door should be revised to comprise of new or salvaged brick. Cement fiber siding is an appropriate secondary material, but exceeds the limit of 25% on some facades. Siding can commonly be found on additions. However, it is mostly found as an accent material and not the primary material as viewed from the street. Staff are of the opinion that the siding is appropriate for the rear portions of the north side facade, but that the street visible north garage facade should be comprised of new or salvaged brick. Staff are of the opinion that with some modifications, the proposed plan would meet the standards for alternative compliance. Staff recommends approval with the following conditions: that the applicant shall revise and identify locations of the drywall and proposed AC units, drywall and proposed AC units and existing AC units. All AC units shall comply with screening and enclosure requirements. The applicant shall revise the driveway to conform with the 10-foot width requirement where it meets the property line. The applicant shall revise the front facade to replace the proposed siding with new or salvaged brick. And the applicant shall revise the north facade to wrap brick along the garage portion of the addition.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Henry, do you have any further comments?
No, I think that the design that we resubmitted to you guys should address all those issues. The driveway does taper down to the 1 lane, so it's 10 feet at the property line. If you look at the elevations, the The biggest substitution that I did is suggesting using faux stone, El Dorado style stone, and mixture brick. I don't think that from the face, that north face of the garage, that we're gonna get 100% brick to reuse. So I've got to use something else there, and I think a cementitious material would do well. And then the rest of the house will be done with cement fiber, hardy board, and screen the units from any view of the street or the side yards. So I think that we've accomplished everything that we needed to do.
So did you say on the north facade of the garage, you're using cementitious material?
Correct. So it's a faux stone. It's like an El Dorado stone. And it's not brick. We can use brick, but there's no way I can get 100% reuse of the existing brick. So we either need to reuse a new pattern, new style of brick to accent that wall, or something like a stone. I've noticed that there are several stone accent, features around the neighborhood. So I thought that might be a good way for us to go. It's the north elevation.
Okay, is there a stone or simulated stone on the front facade of the house?
No, just
some
on
of
the
other
side yard.
houses do have it.
Some do have it, but for what we're doing, I can use brick. I think we can salvage enough brick from the part of the garage we tear down to do the extent of the elevation. I figured we'll get about 70% of the brick that we need back, and then we can do a panel in the middle out of the simulated stone.
On the front facade, which faces nominally west, between the two bedroom windows that are on the front of the house, what is that material? It looks like a different color.
Everything on the front of the house is brick.
Okay.
Oh, there is actually, so between the two bedrooms, there is some cut stone as a feature. I wasn't thinking of doing anything that large, but those are actually probably precast stone, concrete stone features between the windows.
Okay, so then the dry stacked concrete stone veneer would more or less replicate that on the front?
Yeah, the idea is to use the same color. I probably can't find the same, size of cut stone for it to do, since it's just a modular product nowadays. But that's the whole idea for it.
Well, I don't think anyone would really see the north and the south end of the west facade at the same time. Actually, I think it looks pretty good with those two materials on the
Okay.
north face. And let's go around. That was my only concern. Bridget?
I don't, after hearing about the stone accents, I don't have any other comments or concerns.
Bob?
It sounds to me he's addressed all the staff recommendation conditions, if I understand it right. So I have no comment.
Helen?
No comment.
Amy?
No comment.
Carolyn?
I'm gonna have to abstain since I can't see what you guys are seeing. So I'm
Oh.
not there.
Okay,
I would also just recommend that you could maintain any staff recommendations just so that we have time to actually verify that the revised plans have covered everything that was mentioned, just
Yeah.
because Ryan has not had time to thoroughly review these either.
thank you. Okay. Any other comments from anyone? Virtually or in the council chambers? No, I see no hands up either. Okay, thank you, Anna, for that recommendation. We can go ahead and follow the staff recommendation for approval, but maintain the conditions so that Ryan, our planner, can have time to make sure everything matches up. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with the staff recommendations
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Henry.
Thank you guys very much for your time.
We'll move on to new business, and the first one is 7710 West Biltmore. And is the applicant here? Either,
Given the trouble that we had with the link, what we might want to do is move any of those items where no one appears just down the list to the bottom and then recall them kind of as a second call.
okay, thank you. We'll move on to item 2, number 1, Carswell Drive. And Mr. Pozzo or Pozo?
Yes,
you in-
I'm Scott Pozo with Shoto Building Group here for number 1 Carswell.
Okay, we'll have the staff report first, so just hold on.
Subject property is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Carswell Drive and White Down Boulevard. The lot is zoned R1 and is developed with a single-family home. The property had an application reviewed in February where this board approved changes including driveway reconfiguration, new garage access, porch and patio additions, and landscaping. The scope of work has expanded to include facade changes and a new trash enclosure. The applicant is proposing a lime wash for the home's exterior. The mix will be gray and white, similar to other homes nearby. The trash enclosure will consist of a gated wood fenced enclosure constructed 5-foot tall cedar planks. The enclosure is set back from the street on the proposed patio and is surrounded by landscaping. Staff is of the opinion that the proposed changes are compatible with the existing property and surrounding area and recommends approval as submitted.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pozo, do you have any further comments?
No, not really. I mean, given the sort of, I guess you can call it a corner lot position, it's limited in where a trash enclosure could go. So we were struggling with that. I think we found a home for it in about the most hidden spot it could be. And yes, it will be sort of enclosed and landscaped, so even further disguising it. And I think the materials by design will be not only tasteful, but in keeping with some other elements that have already been approved for the exterior of the home.
Well, I agree that is really the only place for the trash enclosure. Also, going by there, I don't think it'll be very visible, and you are surrounding it with an enclosure.
Right.
The proposed lime wash, I think looks good. I think it will bring that property more up to date than what it looks like right now. It's a
We
beautiful
agree.
property, sited beautifully on that site with all the trees. So I think it'll be a very nice addition. But let's see how everyone
Thank you.
else feels. Bridget?
I agree. I think like most people in Clayton, they probably drive by that house all the time and it's a little dark. So I think the lime wash will really brighten it up. And with all the changes that are happening, I think it'll be a really nice accent for, the addition. So it was a nice idea for whoever came up with it.
Thank you.
It always scares me when you start painting over brick. And I love your house and I don't live far from it. And I personally have some mixed emotions, but I don't want to substitute my opinion for yours. And I just wish you good luck, and I'm sure it'll be very beautiful when it's all said and done.
Thank you. We're confident it will.
Mr. Pozo, it might be beneficial if you could explain how the lime wash works, because it isn't an ordinary paint.
It's not. I mean, so the lime wash, and I part of this, I'll be speaking out of school, but lime wash as opposed to a paint being more topical, the lime wash sort of more chemically saturates into the brick a bit more, both so that it's a little more penetrating and not just a topical application. part of that helps preserve the brick and sort of, I don't want to say improve the lifespan of the brick, but I guess it's a more I guess almost consider it more of a stained impact, more so than topical paint that could be, chipped and weathered off over time. I think the lime wash is there and will actually continue to age gracefully with the home.
Okay, thank you. We'll continue. Helen,
Looks good.
Amy,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna look really pretty. I also like the garage doors with that contrast of the new color of the house. I think it's gonna look really nice.
Carolyn,
I agree. I think it's going to be very beautiful. No comments other than that.
any other comments from anyone in the audience or virtual? No? Well, we have a staff recommendation to recommend as submitted.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
I
Opposed? Okay. Good luck with it. Everyone will be watching.
Thank you very much. We hope we dazzle you all.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll move on now to 8129 Kingsbury. $8129.
I'm here.
Says 8128 though. That's across the street. Is the applicant for 8129 on virtually?
I am
You are? And
Yes.
give us your name.
Lee Lamp.
Lee Lamp. Okay, it came up 8128 Kingsbury.
Let me double check that for you. Should be 8129.
Okay, we'll go with it. Ryan,
Subject property is located on the north side of Kingsbury Boulevard between North Forsyth Boulevard and North Brentwood Boulevard. The property is zoned R2 and is developed with a single-family home and accessory structure. The applicant is seeking improvements to the front yard that include reconfiguration of the front path, new landscaping, new retaining walls. The surrounding area consists of open front lawns with brick single-family homes. The existing structure is comprised of red brick with black and white accents. The proposed path will have a slightly different configuration and will be constructed of Belgrade Holland stone. Varying reds will center the path with black forming the border. The steps are proposed to be dark gray stone with black metal railings. Retaining walls will hold new landscaping on either side of the steps and will be constructed of Rosetta Coda modular block. The walls will be 2 feet in height and are in compliance with the architectural requirements for modular blocks. As proposed, the changes meet the setback and coverage requirements. Staff recommends approval as submitted.
okay, thank you. Mr. Lemp, do you have anything to add?
No, I thought that was a great summary.
Thank you. Staff always does a very good job. I see that you've already torn out most everything on the front. Is
Yes,
that correct?
yes.
Okay. What you're proposing to go back in, I think will really clean up the front of the house, make it look much nicer, and some minor items in the back also. Also your pervious coverage, is not exceeding our maximum. So I really saw no problems with it, and we'll see what the rest of the committee has. Bridget?
I didn't see any problems. It looks nice.
Bob?
No problems.
Helen?
No problems.
Amy?
Looks good.
Carolyn?
no comments.
Okay. we do have a staff recommendation to approve as submitted. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Okay, good luck with the project.
All right, thank you.
When do you think it'll be complete?
We're eager to get back there and so is the homeowner. It'll be back on the schedule next week and it'll take probably about 2 weeks.
Okay, well, good luck with it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, now we've come to items 4, 5, and 6, 19 Carswell Drive. And we will start with the site plan review. And the applicant, of course, is here in chambers with us. So Ryan?
The subject property is located on the southwest corner of the Carswell neighborhood, adjacent to Wydown Boulevard and Wydown Forest neighborhood. The property is zoned R1 and is developed with a single-family home. The applicant is seeking to construct an accessory structure that includes a garage and pool house. The structure will be connected to the home via a covered walkway. A full review of site plan criteria can be found in the staff report. To summarize, the project meets height, setback coverage, and architectural requirements. An additional AC unit is proposed on the northwest of the structure. The proposed runoff is projected to decrease by 0.09 cubic feet. Downspouts will discharge to a flow well. Stormwater plan has been reviewed and deemed acceptable. The plan proposes removing 2,891 square feet of canopy coverage with no additional proposed. Staff are of the opinion that an additional buffer and shrubs should be in the northern property line and around the west side of the accessory structure. Utilities are fed from the existing home, but no connections have been identified. Staff recommends approval with the following conditions. 1, additional plantings shall be added to the northern property line and around the west side of the accessory structure per the recommendation of the city's contracted landscape reviewer. And 2, plans shall be updated to show the location of utility connections.
Okay, thank you. Who's going to speak? Alva? Is the green light on?
Now it is.
Great.
I'm Al Levine. I'm the architect for the project. The first thing is that the utility connections are shown on the plan now. They've been updated on the civil engineering plan. We had deferred putting any additional landscaping on the project at this time. The site is heavily wooded, and we were hoping that that item could be omitted as saying that the lot is very heavily landscaped and that you would trust the owner to, when he does additional landscaping on the property, that he would include the one corner of the property where the new building is going. The building itself is buried in the ground, so there's only about 4 feet of wall exposed plus the sloped roof. And we're thinking that the impact on the adjacent property is not very great. So we will defer to what you demand. I'll answer any questions if anybody has anything.
Well, I do have a question on the drawings we received.
Yes,
All the utility connections are on there.
on the civil engineering drawings, correct.
Okay. What I'm looking at. Problem with the site plan, I would recommend that item number 1 of a recommendation be kept on there until staff can verify the amount of landscaping that is there.
Sure.
But site plan, I thought it looked quite good. Bridget,
No comments on the site plan.
Bob,
looks good to me.
Helen,
Yes, I did. The engineers, a civil site plan, excuse me, has proposed asphalt pavement in front of the new garage doors.
Yes, the entire driveway and the entire property is all asphalt. So we're
Okay.
hoping to continue that.
On the architectural drawing, it has concrete with exposed aggregate.
Oh, boy,
Details.
yes. If you will allow continuing the asphalt, the owner, of course, would prefer that.
Okay. That's something I believe in Clayton's requirements that we cannot do asphalt.
I believe that's the case.
It is one of our architectural guidelines, so you could modify that. We have it for portions of existing asphalt driveways, so.
Because you can, if part of the driveway is already asphalt, right?
Currently, right now, we allow for new layers, crack sealing on existing asphalt driveways, but if you're removing the asphalt down to the substrate, laying new gravel and laying new asphalt, we do not allow that. So we've had a number of driveways that have been impacted by construction where only a small portion of the driveway is being torn up. And instead of patching that section with concrete, we've allowed asphalt to be used for that section of it. So if this board is okay with the section in the rear yard being replaced with asphalt, that is under your purview. Otherwise, as our regulations stand, we would require the full driveway to be concrete if it were all taken up.
My feeling is the new driveway behind the house, it looks like it's only maybe 15% of the entire driveway on the site. And I would be in favor, since it's not going to be seen from the street, to allow the asphalt to be done. Unless, Al, you were going to say opposite?
No, the owner wants to keep it as asphalt. He absolutely doesn't want to pull up his whole driveway. He just has to repair the portion in the back where the building is gone.
Yeah. I'm in favor of that, but we'll see if everyone is.
Okay, no, I would be fine with the asphalt. I think it would look better than two different materials. I just was pointing it out so that when the contractor comes, you don't get what you
Oh,
don't
yes.
want.
We will correct our.
Other than
our
that,
drawing.
I think it looks good. And I'm delighted to have the full size drawings. So, no further comments.
Amy,
I think it looks good and I have no issue with continuing with asphalt in that area.
Thank you.
Carolyn, comments on the site plan?
No, I know it's a beautiful property. I live close by and, the amount of trees that you're keeping, supersede, anything that's being removed. And most of the trees are very small caliper and, I don't think you need to add anything. It's a very wooded site. I noticed the asphalt concrete thing as well, but Helen got to go after me. I mean, before me. I have no problem with the asphalt either. I think nobody's going to see it and it would look like a bandage. If you put something else there, it would look odd. So no, I didn't really have any other comments. I realized that it's going to be a beautiful project. So.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments virtually? No hands up. Okay, we do have a staff recommendation to approve with the following conditions. I think before I said we should keep number 1 in there. It's about the landscaping, but number 2 apparently has been satisfied, and that was with the utility connections.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the staff recommendation number 1 and exclude the staff recommendation number 2, sorry.
Would you add in the asphalt on the rear driveway?
Yes. Also recommending that the project would be approved using asphalt for the portion that is getting replaced on the driveway.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll now move on to the architectural review. And Ryan, you lead it on.
Accessory structures are permitted in R1 so long as they meet architecture and site plan criteria. Accessory structures can commonly be found nearby in Carswald and White Elm Forest neighborhoods. The structure is proposed to include a garage, living space, bathrooms, indoor and outdoor kitchens. The property experiences a slope resulting in much of the west facade falling below grade. The structure is proposed to be constructed with white brick and windows and shingles matching the existing home. A covered walkway will be constructed connecting to the existing home. The report drive will be enclosed with an aluminum fence and gate. The scope of work also includes the reconstruction of the brick and stone front entry and the conversion of the existing garage into living space. An additional AC unit is proposed on the northwest side of the structure and is proposed to be enclosed with a vinyl fence. Vinyl is not an approved material for the architecture review guidelines, and staff recommends an alternative material be selected. Staff recommends approval on the condition that an alternative material conforming with the architecture review guidelines be selected for the proposed HVAC screening.
Okay. Comments?
Fine. Painted wood would be delightful.
Okay, so that's item number one and the only one. It's a great looking building. And fits in the site. The only thing I was wondering is, could someone easily climb up on the roof on the west side? Or north?
It's about 4 foot to the east.
What is? There really isn't much you could do. Changing the grade around those sides, so. I guess you have to go with it. Anyway, architecturally, I think it fits in both the neighborhood and with that house. And it doesn't really have any negative effect to anything, so I think it looks very good. Richard?
I don't have any comments.
Ah. Good. Ellen,
Looks good.
Amy,
Great.
Carolyn?
No comments.
Okay, and Alva, you indicated you would use painted wood,
Correct.
which should be agreeable.
Honestly, the reason for the vinyl was the house is white and the vinyl comes white, and that's the simplest material for a 6 foot long fence. The other thing is leave it out altogether.
No, we'd like the
Okay,
enclosure.
then it's painted wood.
Okay, we'll go with that. Any comments virtually or in the audience? No? Well, we have a staff recommendation to approve, and the condition has already been agreed to by the applicant.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 2/3 of the way. Now we'll move on to the conditional use.
Structure for which the applicant is seeking approval contains spaces qualifying for an accessory dwelling unit, including bathroom, kitchen, and living space. All ADUs require approval of a conditional use permit, and a full analysis of criteria may be found in the staff report. To summarize, according to the applicant, the unit will serve as entertainment space and will not be occupied permanently. The structure will have an area of 2,711 square feet, of which 917 will be living space. The structure will also include 3 garage spaces and an outdoor kitchen. The project will not require a variance and has met criteria for architecture and site plan review with recommended conditions of approval. Staff recommends that the application be recommended for approval to the Board of Aldermen with the following conditions. All conditions of Chapter 405, Article 2, Section 405.330 shall be adhered to, and that the applicant shall record deed restrictions pursuant to item 3 under criteria review and submit proof of the required deed restriction to the city prior to issuance of a building permit.
Comments?
I think that's fine. And unless, Ryan, what is the whole list of that chapter requirements that you, other than the deed restriction?
Those are just requirements pertaining to conditional use permits.
Perfect.
Lasana, you have another?
So you are in agreement with the 2 conditions?
Right.
I saw no problem with it. Bridget?
No problem.
No problem. Helen,
No problem.
Amy,
No problem.
Carolyn,
Nope, no problem.
any other comment from the virtual attendees? No. Well, we do have a recommendation to approve with the two conditions. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with the staff conditions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, guys. I do have a question for Ryan. Is there a city form for the deed restriction, or is that something the owner has to have?
We do have some language that our city attorney has drafted up for a similar request that we can share with you.
So he doesn't have to have a lawyer prepare?
Correct. This, yes, this was prepared by our city attorney, so it covers the condition that we requested.
Thanks. Ryan, you can email that.
Okay, good luck with the addition. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. We're back to 7710 West Biltmore.
Yes.
And the applicant is here, so we will go on and work on it. Ryan, if you'd lead off.
The subject property is located on the southwest corner of the intersection of West Biltmore Drive and North Biltmore Drive. The site is zoned R2 and is developed with a two-story single-family home. The property contains street frontage on its north and east sides. Commercial property with frontage on Clayton Road also sits to the south and is separated by an alley. The applicant is seeking to replace a deteriorating 6-foot fence that runs along the alley into the front yard along West Biltmore Drive. The proposed fence would also be 6 feet and constructed of cedar. Fencing is common along the alley which intersects several streets. Common materials include wood, brick, and metal at heights ranging up to 6 feet. Many fences are adjacent to entrance monuments, which can be found along several streets. Staff is of the opinion that the proposed fence is compatible with the existing property and surrounding area due to the similarity of new fences in the surrounding area. And staff recommends approval as submitted.
Okay, thank you. Would the applicant like to come up and give us your name and any other comments?
I'm Lori House-Layden, and the only other comment is it is dilapidated. It's actually fallen down in a couple of spots, and we just want to replace the existing fence height and in the exact same place. But and it's on a weird lot, which is why we're here. So.
Yeah, we spoke with either you or a previous owner about allowing the fencing and the play area essentially
Previous owner, yeah.
in a front yard.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know it. Yeah,
Oh.
that happened.
And
She
yeah,
sold it to me.
the fence does need replacing.
It's just more and more keeps coming down every day. So we're ready to schedule as soon as we were just waiting for this approval. We're
Okay.
under contract.
I did have one question on the picture of the fence. It's all horizontal boards.
Yes.
Are they all in the same plane? Or as we see in the neighborhood, some people are doing
Shadow box.
shadow box.
No, it'll all be in the same plane.
But when you have kids, I don't think the shadow box is the way to go. They can easily climb it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the shadow box. So I'm in agreement with you.
Good.
And it's less material, so that helps.
Bridget,
No comments.
Bob,
Fine.
Helen,
No comment.
Amy,
Looks good.
Thanks.
Carolyn,
No comments.
okay. I see Mr. House-Layden is online, but you've said everything.
Yep.
Kathleen, any comments? Oh, okay. We have a staff recommendation to approve as submitted. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Really got through that quite quickly tonight. Okay. Amy, any comments?
Nothing further.
Ellen?
No, just happy Mother's Day to the mothers here.
Bob?
Left me speechless saying nothing.
Bridget?
No comments.
Carolyn?
Not really. I did want to apologize for my not being able to be there tonight. I had a new employee start today. And he was a little bit needier than I expected. Kidding. He's fine, but I just could not physically be there. So,
Well, we hear you clear and we understand.
yeah,
We've
it's
all been
fine.
needy at times.
It's fine. It's just kind of funny. I'm like, okay, there's no way I can make that meeting. It's good. Next one.
Right.
Good.
Stephanie, any comments?
Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Anna?
The only comment I have is this is Building Safety Month, the month of May. It's sponsored by the International Code Council, ICC. So on our website, we have added a Building Safety Month page, which with various tips. This first week is Building Safety Starts at Home. So we've added a lot of tips gathered by the ICC. They created some outreach material for communities to use. It covers sustainability, how to little changes you can make to get your house more sustainable, to tips for preparing your home for winter, to prevent freezing pipes, how to prepare your house for the case of emergency with smoke alarms, et cetera. So we've created this website page. We'll be updating it each week with a various theme. We also have a proclamation of Building Safety Month set to go to the Board of Aldermen for the mayor to read at their next agenda. So I'd encourage you guys to check out that page and share it with others to get some little tricks and trades for
That's
for
great.
updating your house.
Love it.
Will that website come down after May or will it be incorporated?
Yeah, so we actually created it within the building and planning's website page. So it doesn't have to be taken down. We'll leave it up. We created it specifically for this and we've used a lot of the material that ICC has shared with us and also to create it, but there's no need for it to come down. There's actually a lot of tips that overlap a lot with some of the discussions coming out of the sustainability committee right now. So there's some really great stuff that both homeowners, property owners, and renters can do as far as building safety and sustainability. The ICC is really approaching that as one. So sustainability and resiliency being part of being more prepared for safety in the future.
Since it's on the website, how are we going to get the citizens to read it? Will it be advertised in the Clayton Connection or other areas?
Yes, there's going to be a blurb included in the Clayton Connection this week. That goes out, I believe, on Friday. We've also did a write-up that will go out in the next City Views. So even though that City Views is going to come out after Building Safety Month, the website will still be live and there'll be links to all of the tips within City Views. And then we're also going to do another little blurb and probably throughout the month share some other short social media posts that the city's team can do.
I think it's a great idea, getting it out to the residents so they can get the idea of what to do or what not to do.
Yeah, so this first week covers, building safety at home, but it'll cover a range of topics. So I think week 2 is really about how building safety professionals work for you and with you in these aspects, which I think is also something important. A lot of to kind of just get the word out about some of our professionals, our code reviewers, our fire marshal, what are they doing? Why do we have codes? All of that is also really important outreach for our community to start to understand. So we're going to cover a variety of what building safety means in a community through this effort.
Great. I think that's part of leadership for the city to help out. So, terrific. Ryan?
Just want to apologize for the link issues, everybody. It's not my goal to set meetings at 5:30 in the morning. But also thank you for the Mother's Day reminder. That's something I forgot about. Oops.
Any comments on what we may be seeing on the 15th?
I haven't looked at that agenda yet, but if I recall, it's going to be lighter than some of the ones that we've had in the past.
Lighter than tonight.
Yes,
Will not be here on the 15th.
gotcha.
Well, if there are no other comments, no hands up virtually, we will adjourn at this point. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, bye.